Hello everybody and welcome back. For those of you who are new here, my name is Laura. I'm a psychic medium here on YouTube. Today we are doing a pick a bouquet reading and we are focusing in on the month of April 2023. What blessings and predictions and energies will you be working with in the month of April? What are you going to encounter this lovely month? Once you feel ready, take a deep breath, relax. Stretch your muscles, do a little mini meditation, and then ask the universe, spirit, your higher self, or your spirit guides, what is in store for me in April 2023? What do I need to know about this month in order to achieve my greatest good and highest outcomes? Once you've asked that, take a look at all three bouquets on the screen and select whichever one you feel most drawn to. We have group number 1, 2, and 3. You can certainly feel drawn to more than one group. That's perfectly normal. And I'm filming this after I already did the readings, and a lot of these groups actually kind of blended together. So I feel like as a collective, we are all kind of going through some similar energies. So whichever one you feel most drawn to, that is your reading. And you can skip ahead using the timestamps, or you can watch through. I also just want to thank you guys for being here. I want to thank all of the new subscribers and old subscribers, everyone who leaves comments. I read every single one of them. I love you all so much, and y'all are making my dream come true. So thank you for being here. It is my dream to have a little community like this where we can do tarot and share ideas and support. And I just absolutely love watching you all interact with each other and sharing your stories in the comment section. So thank you for participating in the channel. And if you have not already, go ahead and subscribe. And I offer monthly readings here on YouTube. For every month we do a pick a group, I guess formerly pick a card reading. And I do other little pick a card readings in between and spiritual chats here and there. So subscribe if you are into that. Otherwise, let's begin. Okay, group number 1, let's find out what April 2023 will look like for you. So these first cards are going to represent the overall energy that you will be facing this month. And you have the Witness in reversed. You have the 2 of Earth. This has been coming out a lot in my readings from this particular deck, which is really interesting. And then from Mama Moon, we have your commitment is being tested, first quarter moon. I'm seeing a really beautiful balance between 2 different energies coming through for April, okay? On one hand, Spirit is asking you, especially with this Witness card in reverse, this is what it looks like upright, to not try to change or force your ideas onto someone or something. I'm particularly seeing this in relationships, for example. Let's just say your partner has some qualities that you're not really fond of. Try not to fall into that kind of controlling energy where you're just constantly trying to change them and improve them and get them to work on themselves. Instead, this is asking you to just sit back, take a few deep breaths, and just relax. Have unconditional acceptance for whatever your life circumstances are right now. So even if there are challenges in your life, there's something that you don't like, accept it for what it is unconditionally and act accordingly. This is a really important piece of advice. If you are someone who has a tendency to glamorize other people or put others on a pedestal, I feel like a lot of us light workers especially have a tendency to do this. This is like the shadow side of being a light worker, being an intuitive, is you have the ability to see the best outcomes in any given situation. Your gift is literally to see the greatest level of love, healing, light in every single person that you meet. It's something that is sometimes referred to as the Michelangelo effect, where you can see the full picture of someone's greatest potential and you really try to work and help them reach that potential. You're somebody who naturally gives really good advice. You're a natural born problem solver and you just have a really great vision. And I think having some healthy boundaries when it comes to that is really important here with this card coming out in reversed. And instead of trying to pour all of your energy into other people, into things that are outside of your control because you have a vision of what they can be, and how great they can be. And, you know, if they only, you know, changed up their diet or applied to jobs more or whatever, you know, they would be so much happier. Instead of spending all of your time, energy, and resources into other people, you're being asked to sit back, relax, let the world spin on its own. That is a message here. Let other people take responsibility for themselves and for their lives, and have radical acceptance for who they are and what's going on in your life. You know, stop trying to heal and fix the people closest to you. Really big message there, okay? You're going to waste your energy, you're going to waste your time. And let's just say it does work. Let's just say you are trying to help someone, you know, get on their own 2 feet, perhaps give up some sort of addiction or unhealthy behavior, or become a better partner for you, a better friend for you, so that you can have your needs met. You're pouring all of this energy helping this person become a better person, but are they doing the same to you? It'll be an energy waster. It'll cause resentments, and it'll actually cause more problems than you realize, you know? If you have a history, okay, if any of you here has an ex where you broke up with them, and then after the relationship you're like, they gained all of this character development because of me, you know, I helped them dress better, eat better, live better. What did I get? Trauma, you know? That's a sign that you might be somebody who's prone to doing this, okay? So in April, you're really being asked to just let other people, you know, do their own thing, even if their own thing ain't the best, okay? That's their life, their responsibility. April coming through with Aries season, moving into Taurus season, you're being asked to be a little bit more about yourself, okay? Be a little bit more focused on your goals, your projects, your hobbies, you know, your appearance. Be like really into yourself this month. That's what I'm seeing here. Okay, and with this card here coming out from the moon, your commitment is being tested. I'm also seeing that you've been working towards something. Okay, it'll look different for everyone. Maybe you've been working towards health goals. Maybe you've been working towards having a healthy, nice relationship. Maybe recently you've been working towards, you know, putting yourself out there a bit more, dating, or, you know, getting an art project off the ground, or renovating your home, or getting a business off the ground, or finishing school, whatever. Month of April, your commitment is being tested. You're gonna get so much done this month, okay? Really, truly, hands down. Because I feel like you're in this almost frustrating energy of wanting more progress, but you're transmuting that frustration into like the gasoline that is needed to fuel productivity. Does that make sense? Like, sure, you're frustrated, but because you hate being frustrated, you're working so hard and you're getting so much done this month. So April is a wonderful month for productivity for you, group number 1. And with the 2 of Earth coming out here as well, this is the perfect card for April for springtime. I mean, it's not springtime if you're in the southern hemisphere, but granted, energy still applies to you. We see here she's holding eggs. Eggs are the sign of the spring equinox. I'm literally filming this on the spring equinox, and it's, you know, this energy of fertility, of things growing. Something's about to hatch into your life. We see the flowers blooming in the background as well, alongside nature blooming and the trees coming back to life and everything, you know, coming back to the physical energy of life. Your ideas and goals and vision that you had for yourself is coming into bloom in April. Hands down, your fertility, in terms of energy, you know, this ain't a health reading, okay? Your fertility is really high right now. So yeah, it's just really beautiful. We're gonna see how this energy will come through specifically though, using the tarot. This is the good tarot. And we're gonna pull, I'm feeling 5 cards today, so we'll pull 5 cards and see what's going on in April for you, and then we will get some messages from Spirit. But so far I'm seeing very productive. And I think this increased sense of productivity is because, like, you guys really truly didn't realize how much of your energy you were giving away. I feel like the month of March has taught you and shown you how much of your energy you've been giving away to other people. Not only other people, but other things in general. You know, we all give a lot of our energy away to social media and, you know, maybe the TV or like things that don't matter. However, I think Spirit isn't even complaining about that, because I feel like Spirit's saying, you know, you do deserve some relaxing and entertainment, you know? So they weren't even complaining about those distractions, but they were complaining about your tendency to overgive to other people, okay? So we have the Page of Earth. Ooh, I love this for you. A new beginning coming through in the material, physical world. So specifically, this can be money coming through, okay? Subscribers or followers if you're like an online creator like me. This could be commitments coming through, okay? So let's say you've been dating someone, you're really into them. Page of Earth can show that commitment coming through, like, you know, be my person, let's be partners. And best of all, this can be money, okay? Money and health. We finally are seeing those results. Pages come through in tarot readings kind of as a spirit guide, as a messenger. So this little fairy boy here is coming through saying, yeah, money, health, commitment, love, all of that physical good stuff is coming through for you, okay? Somebody might also be getting a gift this month or getting a gift for themselves, you know? So this can be something new though. That's the thing, okay? So this wouldn't be like an end stage manifestation. This is like a beginning stage manifestation. This is like a new project that you just started is really, you know, starting to see some results here. Or just new people coming in, new customers coming in, new job. Like there's something in the physical world that is new for you that's really exciting, that you've been waiting for, I feel. Oh, yes. And this honestly could not ask for a better card to come out next to that. We have Fortune's Wheel, or the Wheel of Fortune, as it's known in the regular tarot. But guys, this is literally like your luck is turning in the month of April. Things are finally picking up. Here's the thing. Okay, I live in the Northern Hemisphere, and you're watching me, so this is going to apply to you no matter where you live in the world. But the whole concept of winter, all right? So from like the autumn equinox to the spring equinox, that's half of the year. It's all about the spirit realm and mental realm and energies and rest and reflection and all of this divine feminine energy, you know. Winter can really bring up a lot of internal healing work that you need to do, and just getting really deep rest and preparing for a new astrological year, right? So, and April is kind of like the first full month of the new year. Springtime is when our souls go back to focusing on the physical life. So we go from spirit to physical. Doesn't mean that, you know, you're less psychic or connected to spirit at all, because we are both physical and spiritual. But this is the more physical half of the year where, you know, instead of resting and reflecting and meditating, we might be focused on, you know, going out with friends and eating and having a good time and taking beautiful walks in nature. And so having the Fortune's Wheel come up in this first full month of this physical half of the year is so wonderful, because it shows things are going to start coming back to life for you. You know, last year, 2022, if you had a really stagnant year, if it felt stagnant, you felt like you didn't really reach any of your goals, or things moved really slowly for you, this winter, these past few months that we've been experiencing have really, you've been doing so much internal healing work that was what you needed to do in order to finally get things moving. And in the month of April, things are going to get moving. Fortune is increasing. Money is increasing. Health is increasing. Okay, I'm seeing healing from something. I am seeing, and here's the thing too as well. I want to say that some of you watching the month of March, you might have had like a weird week or two of just bad luck. It felt like, you know, maybe you got injured, maybe you had all these bills come out at once unexpectedly, you know, just weird things were happening for you is what I'm sensing. And Spirit is saying it's not that you are cursed, it's that sometimes before a lot of really good stuff happens, some bad stuff happens. And also I'm seeing, you know, you are just like this glowing light right now. You're in a really good space energetically to manifest this, right? You have to be in the space to manifest this, and you are manifesting it, right? So you've been this like light of fertility in a sense, you know, you have all these beautiful ideas, you're excited to live your life, you know, you're feeling extra passionate and glowy and hydrated and wonderful. And the thing is, not only are you attracting money, opportunities, etc., but some of the people and organizations around you, they all are coming to you as like a moth to flame. And because of that, you know, your time is very limited. You may accidentally attract some jealousy or some negative energy. That is all normal. That's all a part of the process, okay? For example, if your life goal is to be famous, you're not going to get there, if you're just hiding your light from the world. You're not going to get there when you're sitting in fear, like, oh, well, I want to, protect my energy from all judgment, from all harm, from all everything. When you're protecting yourself that much, you're never going to be famous, because the thing about fame is you're going to get judged. You are going to have those energies. That's just how it is. So I feel like you somehow, in some way, kind of came to that realization. And, you can protect your personal energies, your personal circle, and all that, but you're no longer fearing judgment. You're no longer fearing success in the way that you kind of subconsciously were before. And because of that, you're attracting success right now, okay? So Spirit is saying, do not fear negative energy. Do not fear judgment from other people. It's all a part of the process, When you're the hottest person alive, you're going to have the most haters and jealous people, okay? So don't fear that at all. Oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding me. Messenger of Earth. Page of Earth, Messenger of Earth. This is, I guess, the knight in the traditional tarot. Good to know. Good to see these two together, because honestly, I would have thought this would have been the page had I not seen the page right here, because pages are like messengers. So I think it's interesting that in this deck they use messengers instead of knights or whatever. Anyways, that's beyond the point. You have the page and messenger of Earth. So you're actually making a natural progression here. In the tarot, it goes page, knight, or messenger, queen, king, right? So when I see a natural progression like this, it shows things increasing in a really good way, because they're both upright. I'm not just reading upright, guys. These can come out in reversed, and they're all coming out upright in order. So that is a really huge sign for me of an increase in abundance, okay? Whatever that looks like, an increase in love, friends, money, wealth, success, to be honest. And sitting between that is the fortune's wheel. It's a really good month for you, okay? And especially with this, your commitments being tested card coming up from the moon, you have been really consistent. And I feel like it's a momentum, okay? This isn't like you win the lottery overnight type of energy. This is like you've been building momentum. You've been healing. You've been instilling really good practices and cleanses and detoxes or whatever the heck you're doing, and you're naturally building this energy up. And it's kind of reaching a turning point in April where it's like, okay, this energy is starting to get really, really big. I'm seeing a very specific vision in my head of math, okay? Times things by 2. 2 times 2 is only 4, a mere 4, small little. 4 times 4 is 16, right? Again, not a huge number. But then the more you go in that pattern, you build momentum really, 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 really quickly. If every year your business, for example, doubles, the first couple of years, that might not be super huge if you start out small, right? But then later down the line, a few years down the line, if your business is still doubling, that is huge, monumentous changes happening. That's really big growth. So that's kind of what we're seeing here. Building a momentum because you've been really consistent with good habits, with your energy and, all that. And it's making really big changes in the month of April. 3 of Fire coming up. Guys, you have so many good cards. It's disgusting. This is literally a card of achieving things that you've set out. And the road was not easy. So I don't, you ever get that feeling of when you're watching a reading and all of this good stuff is happening and you're reading all this good stuff's happening, and then you kind of doubt in the back of your mind oh yeah, but is it too good to be true? I don't see that doubt here because you've actually put in so much work already. There's no doubts because it's no, I've actually literally have made healthier changes for me, and I've been working on improving my life, improving my circumstances, just doing, you've been on this spiritual journey, on this spiritual awakening for quite some time now. And 3 of Fire is a card of achieving goals that you set out on. She had a vision at one point in time of sailing across the sky in this shell boat, and here she's finally manifested it, and she knows the way. She's sticking to her path. And this goes back to this message over here about caring too much about other people, in a sense, pouring too much energy into other people. Your number one priority, Spirit is saying, should be you and your peace and your happiness, your love, and, your own path in life. That should be your biggest priority, because you were born into this world alone. Even if you're a twin, you had your moment coming out the womb, okay? You were born into this world alone, and you will die alone. And along the way, along the journey, sure, you'll have other people by your side, but your exact turns and twists and changes of direction in life, that is completely unique to you. This is your journey. And when you pour so much of your energy trying to fix other people, change other people, improve their lives, and you're not getting paid for it, okay? And you ain't getting paid for it. You are just taking away from your own peace and happiness and love and all that, right? Now, it is important to invest in your relationships when they are aligned with what you want, okay? So, for example, if you really want a set of friends who are going to treat your family like their family, and you're going to get together, every Sunday night for dinner or whatever, and live nearby each other your whole lives. If you meet people who want those same things, those are friendships that you should pour energy into, okay? With healthy boundaries. You can't solve all of their problems for them. You can't force them into, making better decisions. We all make bad decisions at some point in our lives. It's a cause that will drain your energy, okay? Everyone's on their own path. And I see you are beginning to make so much more progress this month, specifically because you realized this pattern. And you're claiming your energy back, The witness observes without engaging in any action. By cultivating inner stillness, we are able to assess any situation from a higher perspective and make better decisions. When we can be present for someone else's difficulties with stillness, then we are able to truly hear them and give better advice. Sometimes we can be so still that we are a mirror for the other. Then, through our presence, they receive their own answers. So sometimes, not only is it a waste of your energy to be constantly trying to improve other people, but the best thing you can actually do for their highest good is to be this witness here, to be still, to not give all your answers and insights and opinions, and to simply listen to them. And a part of listening is, asking pointed questions and getting them to talk more. But everyone already has this internal compass, right? So when you ask the right questions, they're going to be able to tune into their own psychic intuition anyways and find the right answers deep within their heart and soul. If you're giving them advice based off of your own intuition and your own instincts, it might not be the best for them. Especially, and what we're talking about here, this does not apply if you're like a therapist or a psychic reader or someone who's doing this professionally. This is for your friends and family, and this is hard for me too. So I'm glad I'm doing your reading, because I feel like I'm learning something here as well. But, your closest people, you have to have those boundaries with them. Sure, I can tell someone who buys a psychic reading or life coaching session from me all this advice for their life and how to make it better and directions and what to do, but I can't do that for the people closest to me, because they're on their own life path. And my job as a friend, a girlfriend, a family member, whatever, is to just listen and to be there and to have boundaries. Your personal relationships, you're just two individuals walking through life together, and it should be as such. So final tarot card before we get into channeled messages is the 8 of Air, and we see here a little angel up in the clouds, and she is dropping her feathers. You know what I really like about your reading group number 1? This isn't all love and light. But the issues here, with the Witness reversed and the 8 of Air, I would say these are the more negative cards, but it really feels like other people's drama, which is good because it shows that this is a good month for you personally. And the more negative energy you encounter this month is kind of just you empathetically listening to some people closest to you. So for example, it might be a crap month for your best friend, but low-key, you're kind of thriving. So you might have to listen and observe people around you, so partners, family members, best friends, etc., going through a difficult time where it seems like they're kind of getting in their own way. and you really want to give them that advice that you just know that they need, but at the same time you gotta kind of hold your tongue and just be this witness for them. So like, for example, I'm seeing a vision, someone watching here, you know, you might have a friend who just suffers from awful anxiety, and you know, they nonstop complain of how lonely they are and how they just want someone in their life. But then they literally are too anxious to like use dating apps or go on dates. They're afraid of strangers, blah, blah, blah. And like they stay stuck in this pattern for like years on end. And you just give them the same advice over and over, and they just don't seem to listen. And Spirit's kind of showing, you know, this person trapped themselves, okay? And the only person who can get them out of this situation is themselves. So whenever you're kind of pouring your advice into this person over and over and over again, and they're not listening, you're wasting your own energy. And that is energy that you could be pouring into more fruitful endeavors for yourself that support yourself, right? So don't even bother, okay? Don't even bother. Eight of Air, this is a card that's showing someone feeling very stuck, but we see here, like literally this angel is feeling stuck on this cloud or in this water, whatever this is. But like if she just realized she has wings and can fly away, she won't be feeling stuck, right? She just has to do the work and she won't be stuck, you know? I see someone in your life where all they have to do to solve their problems is just take some type of action, but they don't take that action. You know, maybe someone keeps complaining over and over and over about their job, and it's like, okay, well then apply to a new job. Like, what do you want? The solution is really quite simple. Apply to new jobs, interview for new jobs, get a new job. Just take the action, but they're not doing it. They just stay stuck, not doing the action they need to take, complaining over and over and over again. It's like giving this person advice is a lost cause, group number one. So that's the only thing I would say beware of this month. You know, learn to balance your energy. Don't give too much away to other people, and you're good to go. But let's find out what Spirit wants to tell you. So from the angel answers, this just has some very direct answers. So we're just going to see what cards come out. Okay. Let go came out pretty quickly there. And Eight of Air, I can kind of see it. You know, let go. I'm almost seeing this message of... how do I put it in a way that makes sense? Like, it's almost like you're being asked to stop caring so much. And I know that sounds bad, but it's like you're overly investing your emotional energies into other people, you know? Like, sometimes you really just have to have this radical acceptance for the situation, who a person is, and what they will and will not do. Give them their own responsibility for their life, especially if they're an adult. Like, that's on them, you know? And I feel like sometimes you care a little bit too much. You're a little bit too empathetic towards them, to the point that it's really draining for you and draining so much energy. Like, are you the type of person who's constantly looking up other people's astrological charts and trying to understand them to the deepest extent and like get to know them entirely and solve all their life's issues? And Spirit's saying, like, what if instead of doing that, you poured the amount of time and energy you spent doing that into yourself, into your own projects? You would have no problems in life. Your life would be a lot better, right? So they're almost saying, let go of how much you care about other people. And here's the thing, guys, I know that sounds so unnatural and so bad, but Spirit's showing me that you're so incredibly loving as a person that if you let go of some of the care that you have towards the people in your life, it would actually make you a normal loving person. You know, you're loving too much almost. So it's not like you're gonna be this callous, cold individual who doesn't care about other people. Like, no, you'd be regular, or like even better than regular still, because the level you're at right now is so unbelievably high. Spirit's saying, like, you can tone it down a bit, okay? Look for a sign is coming out. Yeah, Spirit's going to be giving you signs all throughout the month. So look for repeating numbers. I'm seeing feathers a lot. You know, that's a sign from Spirit. Your dreams will give you messages all along this month, okay? There's more to the story here. And I feel like this reading can't cover the entire month and every single thing that's going to happen in your month, which is why Spirit's saying, like, look for signs along the way. We're communicating to you. You know, if you feel particularly drawn to something, look up the meaning of that. You know, if you have a really weird experience with a certain animal, or you just keep seeing a certain animal somewhere, for example, look up what that means. You know, if you have a interesting dream that sticks out to you, look up what that means, or ask yourself what that means, you know? There's signs everywhere, okay? So let's get some messages from your spirit team, your spirit guides. and ancestors. What do they want you to do in the month of April? I'm just really excited for you guys, to be honest. Like, this is giving me so much forward momentum and blessings, financial, health, all things earthly, really spoiling yourself, being able to spoil yourself a bit more. I'm seeing an increase in abundance happening because you've been so consistent. And when you stay consistent, working towards the things that you want and desire, and just, doing things that might not be easy, but that are good for you. So for example, I did a sugar cleanse this month. It wasn't easy, but it's good for me. And I've reaped the benefits of that sugar cleanse. I'm way less anxious and all that, that's what this is saying. Like, you're doing things that aren't the easiest. Like, maybe you're staying super consistent with, like, if you're a blogger, writing blogs. And it hasn't been the easiest at times, but you stayed consistent. And now you're, seeing more people on your mailing list, for example. We have the message memories coming out for you. Your memories are like diamonds in the treasure chest of your spirit. More and more memories are arising within you. Remember the happier moments with your loved ones who are here in the spirit world, for neither time nor distance can stop the energy of love that you have for one another. Yeah, I am seeing a particular message here. Even if you don't talk to certain people anymore, even if certain people are passed away, the love for them still exists. Like, keep in mind, you are physical. So when you are tuning into that more spiritual side, you can still enjoy your past relationships and friendships and all that through your memories. Does that make sense? So, like, even if you had a falling out with a certain friend, for example, you can still enjoy that friendship by thinking back on the times that you shared with them and the experiences that you had. Like, in spirit, time does not exist. So it's kind of hard to describe, but that is what it is. So, like, if you're missing someone, look back on your memories on them, enjoy those memories and understand that they're, like, still here. Like, when we die, we go into spirit, right? So your spirit guides, your ancestors, your past loved ones, they exist in the past, present, and future. They're always here. Even if you're not connecting with them, even if you're not talking to them, they're still a part of your life because time does not exist. If you go like 2 years without talking to your spirit guides, that doesn't mean they're not there and they're not mad at you, because time does not exist for them, So I don't know. I guess that's a message for someone. Someone needed to hear that, but I don't understand what this means personally, but your spirit guides are really just making that known. Like, for whatever reason, you need to know that right now. Time does not actually exist in spirit, and don't feel bad if you haven't made an altar for your ancestors or spirit guides in a long time. Don't feel bad, about, like, I don't know, like, it's just interesting. Spirits, they don't experience time. They don't experience a lot of what we deem important here on earth and we think are important in the spiritual realm after we pass away. It's just, that's not how it works. Your memories are way more valuable in spirit than any possession that you own on earth. All right, you take your memories with you. You do not take your possessions when you pass away. All right. And also with this memories card, that's something to keep in mind. I feel like your spirits want you to keep that in mind. Like, they're not trying to scare you and, make you fear death or anything, but they do want you to have this mindset of, like, life is short and I should be creating memories, of my time here on earth. So go out and create more memories, guys, or like special traditions that you hold near and dear. And also I'm getting another message here, actually. Think back on all of your most cherished memories. What do they have in common? Okay, what do they have in common? And when you find this common denominator or themes, ask yourself how you can create more memories like that in the present moment. And through doing that, you're going to have a really lovely life. And if you make enough of these positive memories in 2023, for example, you're going to look back on this year with a lot of happiness in your heart. Okay, does that make sense? So when you make more positive memories this year that stand out to you, your mind remembers this year in a more positive light. Also, some of you might need to hear this. This is also kind of how you heal from PTSD. Okay, I know this is somewhat unrelated for some of you, but if you've been struggling with PTSD, one good way to help you kind of become less triggered in the future and to have less panic attacks and flashbacks is by creating happy memories. Because those happy memories kind of, how do I put it? Like, make a benchmark in time that is positive, that isn't triggering, that, you know, and the more and more you do that, it's like it's like the positive outweighs the negative. You know, I myself struggled with PTSD, and in my healing journey, I just really craved really happy memories, like weddings, babies, parties, all that, because I wanted to overwrite the negative stuff that I've experienced. And that is actually a really good way to heal. So some of you guys need to do that. I don't know. Month of April, try to make a memory, a good memory that you'll remember for years to come. That's what I'm seeing for you guys. So final message from Spirit as a whole, the universe as a whole. What do they want you to know right now or for the month of April? Just what do they want to tell you? This is from the postcards from Spirit deck. Lovely deck filled with postcards written as if it's from the universe itself or your spirit guides. Okay, this is the postcard and I'm gonna read it for you, or you can screenshot, whatever you want. Dearest you, on Earth, humans learn about life by telling stories and creating new ones based on shared experiences. Eventually, after repeating ones often enough, it becomes your main story that you use to define yourself and the world. So to get the answers that you seek, you must get vulnerable and hear your story when you tell it. Ask why you tell it. Is it really true? What else can be true? Can you see the truth that Spirit is in all things? Do you see how other stories overlap and intertwine? Spirit loves stories, for they are like blueprints for co-creation. So tell the one we know to be true about you, a story of courage, gratitude, and honesty. Tell an empowered story about well-being, wisdom, and grace. You will experience your world according to the story you tell about it. So make sure they're stories that you're proud of. Genuine, loving fan club. Beautiful. You know what came through my mind when I was reading that? I met someone who, they were actually very close to me, still are. But when I first met them, it was like a shock to my system because the way that they viewed the world and the people in it was so negative. Like, it was honestly so negative. Like, they thought that everyone was out to get everyone and that, you know, no one, like, they just didn't have a sense of unconditional love, it seemed. And it was really sad to me. And, you know, this is someone who, as the years have went on, they kind of turned the story of how they viewed the world into a self-fulfilling prophecy, you know, because they had such a negative perspective on life. I kind of saw throughout the years how they kept kind of attracting more negative stories. And it's not anything mystical or magical. It's just, you know, in their mind, when no one can love unconditionally, the way they went about their relationships was it was just in such a way that it wouldn't attract someone who was genuinely unconditionally loving and all that. And this message is truly, truly important. You know, the stories that you tell about yourself become self-fulfilling prophecies, and the stories you tell about people in the world itself becomes your self-fulfilling prophecy. I can't even describe the amount of people that I've met who have made poverty a self-fulfilling prophecy. For example, you know, rich people are evil, you know, you can never win in this capitalistic society. You know, they're telling this story about how the world is designed to keep people down and they have to play into the system. And these people who tell these stories almost always work in some type of corporate job that they hate, and they never strive to get out of that system that they complain so much about. You know what I mean? Like, and that kind of ties back in with your message. It's like, if you stop spending so much time complaining about the system, if you only took the amount of energy and time that you spent doing that on getting yourself out of the system, we wouldn't be complaining about this by now. You know what I mean? So I think overall your message is pretty positive. I think you've been working pretty hard to tell yourself a more positive story of courage, gratitude, and honesty, you know, and create that for yourself. And it's just lovely. And Spirit's just encouraging you to continue to do this and continue to create powerful memories and just tell beautiful stories about the world and you to yourself and to others, and watch as your world begins to manifest right in front of you the exact way that you described it. Thank you for joining me, group number 1. Lovely month ahead for you. Remember to be patient with the people in your life, though. Remember to not give so much to people who are not giving to themselves. I think that's the biggest takeaway here, on top of getting all this money. So I'll see you for the next video. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, share it with friends and family, and I'll see you later. Bye. Group number 2, let's see what April 2023 is going to look like for you. We have the medicine wheel coming out, lots of healing and empowerment right away. We have the youth coming through, major arcana from this deck. This deck gets really deep, so we might do some reading from that one. And then Mama Moon is saying emotions are running high, super moon. Okay, this is going to be a significant month for you. I can tell that right off the bat. Okay, so first I actually want to talk about this youth card because it is just such a fun energy for April. So this is that feeling of freedom, and you know, tomorrow doesn't exist. You are following your passion and your wanderlust right here in the present moment, and it is beautiful. We see taking action, we see living in the moment, you know, being on a quest for adventure and kind of taking risks, you know, thoughtful risks for greater reward, and kind of asserting your independence a little bit more. This card really gives me the energy of like young adulthood. So like late teens, 20s, maybe even early 30s, where you know, you're not quite ready to settle down. And this is all about going out, traveling, seeing new things, meeting new people, learning new stuff, and just following your creative pursuits before you take on real responsibility in life, really. And I know not all of you are exactly in this position. Maybe you do have responsibility. Maybe you do have a kid or a home or a mortgage or taxes and stuff. We all got taxes, but you know, maybe you're not quite in this energy per se, but for whatever reason in the month of April, your soul is in this energy. So I definitely want to say, if you don't have any responsibility at this time, do not impulsively take on more responsibility. You know, really enjoy this moment for what it is and kind of use it to prepare yourself for when you will take on more responsibility. Does that make sense? So for example, if you don't have any kids, you don't have like, you're not married, you don't own your own home or whatever, you know, use this freedom and really embrace it. You know, instead of saying, oh, I just want a spouse and a kid and all that, you know, okay, we're gonna get there. However, in the moment, you know, really use this freedom to the fullest and do the things now that you perhaps might not be able to do later. You know, go out and meet new people, you know, put yourself out there, do some traveling, you know, just live your life to the fullest. I don't know how else to put it. Month of April, for whatever reason, you're really stepping into this energy. So I don't know if you're taking really big risks, or you're traveling, or experiencing a new direction, moving to a new city, embracing your individuality a bit more. Like, there's something here about not having a certain responsibility, and because of that, you're really living life to the fullest. So for example, this could just mean like, you know, your job situation changed and now you can dye your hair crazy colors and you're really excited about that. Or maybe you, I don't know, you became your own girl boss and you're making enough money now. It seems to be a long-term thing. So you're going to get those hand tattoos that you want, you know, I don't know. This can come through in so many different ways, but I'm seeing kind of like risky, fun, spontaneous, in the moment energy, because the way your responsibilities have fallen, like you're somehow in a position to where you can be in this youthful, exuberant, fun energy. And Spirit is actually encouraging it this month as well, especially with Aries energy. You know, the sun is in Aries this month. You know, it's just this different adventure is what your soul needs right now. And for some of you watching, maybe you've even been a little bit bored recently, and so this month is just calling you to, you know, make some changes and just take some spontaneous, wanderlusty decisions. Yeah. You can tap back into this energy no matter how many responsibilities you have in your life, to be honest. So, for example, let's just say you've been with the same person for years and years on end, and you might feel a little bit bored of your relationship. I mean, like, let's talk about, these are things that no one talks about. No one mentions the fact that that happens to a lot of people. That doesn't have to be the case, and when you tune into this youth energy in your relationship, you're not going to feel bored with them anymore. I swear to God. Like, do something out of your comfort zone with them that you would have never thought about doing before. Maybe you feel bored, but okay, well, what if you go on like a cross-country road trip? What if you spontaneously sell your house and move far away? Like, what if you adopt a dog? What if you, I don't know, had an orgy? Like, what do you need to do to step into this energy of freedom and adventure and newness again? For the month of April, we also have, on top of all this going out of your comfort zone in a really fun, spontaneous way, the medicine wheel, which is going onto a more serious healing note. So the medicine wheel is a concept from Native Americans. It's a sacred hoop with the 4 cardinal directions. And it represents the cycle of life. It represents nature and, the circular pattern of our cosmos, and just kind of like the cyclical nature of life itself, right? And by stepping into this medicine wheel, each direction has some sacred wisdom, and, you go in order, and it essentially will transform your life, heal you, or kind of elevate you, rise you up to a new level of power and of wisdom. So when this card's upright, and I'm going to read it straight from the book, to manifest clear blue skies in your life, it is important that you take a look at certain aspects of your being. Enter the medicine wheel from the south and reflect on how you are still clinging to events from the past. Continue to the west and notice which relationships are toxic and drain your energy. Step into the north and ask yourself, do I know my passion and show it? End at the east direction, visualizing how you want to live the next chapter of your life. So essentially, this is how I know it. It might be different for everyone. The south is all about shedding old skins, which is why the snake is here. It's all about releasing things from your past that no longer serve you. So for example, me personally, recently I actually just burned all of my old journals. This is a ritual I do every several years, where I just like let it all go. Let all of the things that I was worrying about in those journals go, and just watch as it transforms me. What relationships, what situations in your life might you be better off leaving in the past. And then when you step into the west, this is again how I know it. How can I experience newness? What new energies do I need to bring into my life? What changes need to be made for my well-being? And then the north with the hummingbird, this is really, to me, all about looking at your place in the universe, like where you stand between your ancestors and your, what are the people called that come after you? The people that come after you. Like, where do you stand in the world? What impact, what legacy are you leaving, and are you honoring that? What is your place in the universe? What is your passion, and do you show it? What are you offering the world? What are you offering for that will benefit the world right now? And then with the east, this is a sign of protection for me, the eagle or the hawk or any winged animal. And it's all about seeing the bigger picture of everything, past, present, and future. Where have you came from? Where are you now? And what is the next best chapter in your life? So that's how I view it. So when you step into the medicine wheel, you kind of go through these 4 directions and work with it one by one. And you might stay in a certain direction for any amount of time, a few minutes, a few hours, a few days, a few weeks, months, even years. Okay. You might spend a lot of time, in this southern energy of letting things go and releasing the past and reflecting on the past and doing inner healing work. I know I was in that energy for many years, of reflecting on my childhood and, healing from it and understanding why I am the way that I am. It took me years to get through that energy. And, now I'm starting to step myself more into this west northern energy of, taking on new experiences and living life a bit more fully. And just figuring out my place in the world. So, you're being asked to step into that this month. Emotions are running high. We're actually going to pull some tarot, and I want the tarot to help clarify why emotions are running high for you this month, because that can be good, bad, or ugly. So let's find out. All right, so we're going to pull 5 cards, and these cards, okay, the star came out in reversed. Beautiful. It looks like this upright. Right away, the star card speaks of confidence and your ability to manifest all that you desire. And I do think that this message is calling for you to have a little bit more faith in yourself and understand that you're actually really attractive. Like, I don't know why I'm being pulled to the message of Spirit saying that you've been a little bit too hard on yourself, and you're actually like super hot, group number 2, like physically, okay, and mentally and emotionally. Like, you're hot, okay, you're a hottie, you're a baddie, and don't you forget it, all right? Because with the star card in reverse, I think you forgot that. And you know, it's just time for you to get out of this rut you've been in, is what I want to say. You know, I feel like I'm getting a vision of you glowing, you know, beautiful hair and skin and teeth, and like even the way you dress. It's all like your whole energy is glowing and singing. And like, that's your spirit, that's your soul. But for whatever reason, I feel like recently your energy's been low, or you haven't been feeling that way. You know, you've been feeling down on yourself, and I don't know, I'm just getting these weird visions of like getting out into the sunlight, drinking fresh water, and just being glowing again. It's hard to put into words. I'm just getting these visuals from Spirit. So a return of energy is what I want to say. April 2023, group number 2, a return of energy. Remembering who you are. 10 of water in reversed. Okay, so I feel like that message of boredom in relationships is coming through again. You know, or it doesn't even have to be romantic. It could be friendships as well. Like, maybe you do the same old things with your friends, your group, your people, whoever. And there's just this sense of like almost like a listlessness about you that is changing in the month of April, okay? A return back to wanderlust, a return back to creativity, and like your soul is waking up again. I almost feel like so where I'm at in the northern hemisphere, we've had this long winter, right? And April, it's like the first full month of spring, and I feel like your soul is coming back on fire. Like, and I'm getting a vision of snakes. So a snake might actually be your spirit guide, or you might be in the southern energy, and after like cold hard winter or whatever, they slither on up to like a nice rock, and they just like sit there for a while and let their actual body temperature come back to like normal. You know, they come back to life in a sense. I am seeing this vision to kind of represent you, like you're coming back to life, like you're regaining motivation. And for some of you guys, you literally might just need sunlight. Like, you might have a vitamin D deficiency and you might just need some sunlight. And then suddenly it feels like all of your depression is cured. I know I'm like that. Like, the first nice day out and I go sit in the sun, cures my depression right away. But we see a return, just a return to life. I don't know how to describe it. I'm seeing going out of your comfort zone in your relationships. Okay, I don't know why I keep getting this vision of experimenting in your relationships, or if you're single and dating, like just doing things outside of your comfort zone. Like, okay, this is like not G-rated, but like I'm seeing actually like exploring some type of kink or like new lifestyle that you haven't done before. Like, I don't know, I'm seeing something just new and exciting for you to just stir up your passion again. Or this is definitely a good month if you're single to go on new dates and meet new people, because this is exactly that energy. Like, every new person that you meet has so different ideas and like things. And I was actually reflecting on this myself the other day. I'm like, every single new person I've ever met has given me like a new food to try. I know that's such a weird specific thing, but I'm like, no, I've literally tried a new food from every single new person that I've met in my life. Like, every person I've dated has introduced me to a new food, and now I have a wonderful culinary palate. So it's just interesting. It's interesting. We have the Ace of Air coming out in reverse. Yeah, all of these are confirming April is going to be a new beginning for you if you embrace it. Ace of Air is like, it's time. It is time for newness in your life. You cannot wait. You cannot wait for a new beginning. Okay? Like, some of you just want to up and move somewhere new. You just want to restart your life in a sense. You know, you just want newness. You know, it's getting a little stale. 8 of Water. It's coming, y'all. It's coming. The ship is coming. You got your little treasure here. 8 of Cups for me is the biggest wanderlust card in the deck. You know, it shows having a fulfilling situation. You know, technically on like practical terms, you should be happy, it feels like. But there's just this desire in your soul to just experience newness, to experience new things, and coming to some type of compromise in your life where you can experience new things. And Ace of Air, I almost feel guided to say with this in reversed, to be really open and honest with people. You know, I feel like someone here needs to hear this, and I'm not saying that everyone here needs to hear this, but lying to get this new energy or betraying to get this new energy is not the way you want to approach this. Okay, that is a message for like 1 or 2 people here, but rather working with the people around you, okay, to kind of reclaim your sense of independence. That's the energy I'm getting. And this can happen a lot in like long distance relationships or even friendships. Like, sometimes we lose our identity in the people closest to us. You know, we become so comfortable with our partner, with our friends, with our family. We're so identified with them that we can lose a sense of our individuality and our sense of freedom. And I think sometimes we have to take these kind of wanderlusty adventures in life to just kind of find ourselves, put ourselves out there. If you're single, you know, go dating new people, meeting new people, or if you want to travel and can travel, go see new places. You know, go on a solo trip for the first time if you haven't. Wonderful stuff. You know, just play around with life a little bit. Do things on your own a little bit. Do something. It's hard to describe this energy, so hard. It's like just super freeing, individualistic, finding yourself, you know. It all comes from these new experiences. And I definitely want to really try to encapsulate the importance of maintaining this sense of freedom in long-term relationships. Like, when you lose this sense of personal freedom and individuality in relationships, that's when you become bored, okay? And I feel like honestly, I feel like that is the reason why so many marriages fail nowadays, is because it just has become somewhat of a toxic thing. Like, you're so intertwined in each other's lives, but like, I think yeah, that's totally fine, intertwine with lives, but like, still have your own life outside of that, you know? Like, you don't have to go on every single trip with your partner, with your spouse. You don't have to, you know, share every single friend that you have with them. You don't have to share every single hobby, you know? Like, tune back into the energy of being single if you are in a long-term relationship in a consensual way. You know, talk about it with your partner. You know, how can we do this? And if you already are single, well then, honey, what are you doing? Like, live your best life, point blank, period. Okay, we have 9 of Fire in reversed, or 9 of Wands in reversed. Interesting card. Holding on to hope, holding on to your dream, holding on to your spirit in dark situations. I feel that in the month of April, this is a very like spiritual message here. It's almost like I'm getting a vision of kindling, you know, embers burning at the bottom of like a bonfire, like a campfire. And this is like all that you have left of your spirit are these embers, right? And then you finally like wake up and you're like snapping out of it, and you gather some kindling and you put it on these embers and you start blowing, and then you create this flame again. I just keep seeing this return of life happening for you in April. It's really beautiful, really beautiful. This is a good month for you. return of life, return of individuality, return, like remembering who you are, you know, breaking out of boredom, honestly, like just getting back in touch with your wild, exuberant, passionate side, you know, exploring who you are even more. It's really beautiful stuff. And I'm seeing how healing it is for you. Let's get into the messages from Spirit, because I'm just going to keep babbling about the same stuff over and over if I don't. Okay, so this is from the Angel Answers deck. Very direct answers. Let's just see what pops out. April 2023 for group number 2. We have recovery happening. Yeah, recovery of your spirits. Coming back to life. The rekindling of your soul. Stepping back into happiness after a long, dark period of the soul. Some of you guys have been going through this dark night of the soul, and you're finally returning back to life. It feels good. Communicate clearly. Big message here. Communicate clearly. Ace of Air reverse. Okay, I know some of you guys are going to get personally offended at this. If this does not resonate with you and it triggers you, please just like tune out for a few seconds, because it might not be your message. But I'm actually seeing some of you here wanting to open up your relationship or be in like a consensually non-monogamous relationship. And these cards are all clarifying like, yes, communicate so clearly though. Like, do not betray, do not lie. That's not cool. Like, if you want to do some more freaky fun stuff, bring it up, okay? This is your sign to bring it up, okay? Communicate clearly with people, and you will avoid a lot of hurt emotions and emotions that are running high. Also, I want to say, like, if you're feeling bored in a relationship, or if you want to do something new, which I honestly feel for all of you here, like, and this could be friendships even, it doesn't have to be romantic. The message here is to just communicate that, you know, say to your friends or your partner, you know what, I'm feeling like we need a little bit more excitement here, and here's my ideas. You know, and here's why. Like, you know, when you communicate clearly, problems honestly aren't as big as they have to be, you know, like truly, when we're healthy, clear communicators, you can honestly bring up anything, and you should be able to bring up anything that you want with the people closest to you without being judged, without being ridiculed or put on the spot, you know what I mean? So angels are really emphasizing, you know, yes, but communicate clearly. I don't know how that applies to your life specifically, but just take it, okay? It won't be super bad, guys. Communicate clearly. Okay, messages from your spirit team for this month. What do they need you to know? These are your spirit guides and ancestors. Okay. We have caregiver coming out, yeah. We are here, or we are with you, and Spirit has its own way of recognizing the care and love you provide to others, especially at the end of their lives. Just as you received care and love at the start of your life, caregivers often focus all their attention on their loved ones and often neglect their own concerns and well-being in the process. Big message for you. Yeah, guys, you are totally caregivers in one way or another. You know, you could take care of pets or elderly folk or babies or children, whatever. You are giving care to others, and that's who you are. And take advantage of this month, because I see an opportunity where you are truly going to just be able to have fun with your own little life, okay? Don't neglect your own concerns and well-beings in the process. You have chosen this card in all likelihood because you probably already are or have been in a caretaker role, or you'll shortly start caring for someone you love. So this, I actually am seeing this as a prediction. Okay, some of you guys in the future, you will be a caregiver. And that's why we see this message here of live your life to the fullest right now, because you might not be able to in quite the same way in the future, you know, make the risky decisions now because you might not be able to in the future. You know, this is actually a message that came up for me yesterday, and now I know why, because it's for you guys. You know, I was thinking to myself, how great it is to kind of not have kids right now and to not have a ton of responsibility right now, because I can take big risks in my career. You know, I can not make a lot of money and do YouTube readings and stuff and personal readings. You know, I'm not the richest person in the world, but you know, I can take this risk now and grow doing what I love now because I don't have a ton of responsibilities. And you know, this thing needs time to nurture, and I have the space to do that. And I'm kind of seeing a similar message for you where if you do not have responsibilities like that right now, this is the time you want to be doing whatever you want to do, whether it's traveling, creating your own business, quitting your job, moving cross country. Like we said earlier, hosting orgies. I don't know what you're doing, but now's the time to do it. Okay, we see that big time. All right, big prediction. Or in some way, if you already are a caregiver, you'll have extra opportunities to do what you want this month. So beautiful card. Okay. It's a timely reminder to ensure that you don't forget yourself in the process, no matter what type of care is being given, whether it is emotional support or more hands-on. It's easy to let all of your energy dissipate, leaving you feeling drained, disinterested, or at times feeling down. Remember that we're all made up of energy, and that energy is very precious and delicate, and the needs to be preserved and honored. I don't know why I read it like that. Take time for yourself. Nurture yourself with self-care, such as a massage, meditation, or walks in nature, allowing your body, mind, and spirit to open and absorb positive and healthy energy, so that when you have to return to care mode, you feel healthy, strong, and revitalized. Yeah. So I feel like when it comes to caregiving, it might not be consistent. There might be waves of big and little caregiving needs, right? So for example, when I adopted 2 kittens at the same time, my role as a caregiver was super duper high. I couldn't just go out and do whatever I wanted because those kittens, they were chaotic. I had to watch them all the time. And then, they grew up, and, my need to take care of them died down a little bit. And, I could be more free with, what I do. And when someone I loved got, really injured, I had to take care of them again. So it can come in waves, even if you're consistently caring for a child or a pet or whatever, the amount that they need you will come in waves, right? Month of April, seeing very low need to care for everyone around you. So make the most of yourself and your free time. And yeah, I feel like we've reiterated the message of just stepping into your wanderlust, your free energy so much. I'm not going to repeat it. So let's finish off your reading with a message, a postcard from Spirit itself, the universe itself, and see what they have to say to you. So Spirit, what do you want to say to group number 2 for the month of April? Guys, I'm not going to lie. It's a really fun month for you. If you let it be, I'm just, the energy that you're in feels really nice. On the surface, it might be whatever, but the energy you're feeling is so great. You feel like yourself again, which is beautiful. Okay, I love the color of this card. We have, Dearest You. We are sending you waves of love and joy as we watch you reap the rewards of your tenacity and faith. We know how long it has taken you to reach some of your goals, and that you've had disappointments along the way. Right now, we suggest you take a deep breath and fill yourself up with gratitude and tune into the vibration of well-being. Temporary conditions may be trying to hypnotize you into seeing something else as your reality, but we know that happy rewards are on their way to you even now. Change is the only constant. So be open to it. Yeah, I want to pause and say that that might be your biggest takeaway here. Change is what you need right now. Change will take you out of this boredom, out of these issues. I'm seeing a message. Somebody might get into arguments with people just kind of out of boredom, or it's if you were more busy, this wouldn't even be an argument. Does that make sense? So it's sometimes, being a little bit more busy or just in experiencing change and a lot of stuff going on in life can be a good thing, because that's a high vibration of life, is when you got a lot of stuff going on. That's real fun. You got a lot of memories and activities and things to do. And then if you don't have that, I just feel like you can get overthinking in your head, and it just creates issues. Your mind wants to be active. Think of our ancestors, for example. They were constantly on the search for food or firewood, or building their place of living, or sewing. There was always something to do, making clothes, mending clothes, busy hands constantly back in the day, right? Little tasks. That's what being a human's all about, just doing our silly little human tasks, going out and getting food and cleaning and, making sure we're dressed and ready and, you know, all these silly little human tasks. That is what life is all about. So when you have too much free time on your hands, it gets you so in your head because you're not supposed to be living life like that. Like, yeah, sure, rest, meditate, all that. I agree. But like, you know, them tasks, man, it's what life's all about. You will achieve your dreams and more, we promise. But more important, your happy rewards will be gathered up in the small moments, the gentle breezes, the soft kisses, and the quiet commitments. Your happiest moments will be on the journey itself, not in arriving to any destination. You are surrounded by so much love and care. Can you feel us? Love that. Enjoy your journey a bit more, y'all. Also, this is a promise that like big things are changing for you, so don't feel down. Big changes are on the way. But yeah, that's your reading. I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you guys for joining me. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you for the next one. Bye. Group number 3. Let's dive into April 2023 and see what cards you have. These cards are going to represent the overall vibe, theme, and energy this month. So you have the Child coming out. Really interesting. Group number 2 had a card from this deck called the Youth, and now you have the Child from this deck. We're all tuning into, and it's interesting because we're actually in Aries season, right, for most of April until April 20th. And Aries does represent like children. It's like the first zodiac. It's like the child. So it's just really interesting to me that it's coming out. We have the 10 of Fire with this beautifully aligned being. And then we have Disseminating Moon. Take time to breathe out. Okay, I am seeing like visions of just discipline, self-mastery, and you know the concept in martial arts when you become like a master at your skill, it's almost like you reset and you go back to looking at it in a beginner's mind. That's the energy I'm seeing all across this reading. So I'm actually going to read for you the 10 of Fire here. Beautiful, stunning card from the book. So here it is. The 10 of Fire symbolizes mastery, not just of a skill or a craft, but of oneself. It means understanding the tools of your craft and wielding them with skill, precision, and craftsmanship. It is about knowing yourself and using that knowledge and understanding to bring you all that you need and desire with the same level of skill, precision, and craftsmanship. The master illustrated in the 10 of Fire knows how to wield his personal power. He moves with clear intentions and he acts with the same intent. He is aware that what motivates him, his behaviors and actions, and exhibits complete self-command. He acts with deliberation and with complete awareness of the effect of his actions will have upon himself and his environment. He is not only confident, he is capable also. I am seeing you as this 10 of Fire, guys. Like, you are achieving self-mastery here, achieving self-discipline, like maxed out, okay? You are very self-aware, and I see you mastering yourself, gaining control of your emotions and your impulses and no longer letting them control you. That is the mark of maturity. You know, a child is someone who allows their emotions to make decisions for them. You know, they get upset, they throw a tantrum, right? An adult is someone who, sure, they get upset, they can acknowledge that they're upset, they process that emotion, but they have control over it, and they understand that throwing a tantrum will be annoying for the people around them. You know, they have that empathy, and instead they're able to make really mature decisions and just communicate like, hey, so this thing is upsetting me, let's work through it. That is an adult, right? The whole point of the Child card here is a return to a second innocence. Okay, that return, you've mastered something and then you're going back to kind of relive it from a master's perspective. Like, you're re-experiencing life through a child like exuberance and lens, you know, looking at everything new, but also from the perspective of someone who has already kind of mastered themselves as an individual. Really stunning. He has evolved from a person who lacked awareness and perhaps even blamed others for the problems in his life because he was unable to see that every action gives rise to a consequence. He once stumbled about, his inexperience resulting in more mistakes than triumphs, but he continued, and in doing so reached a crucial moment of enlightenment when he realized that in order to succeed, he had to take command of himself and his life. He had to take responsibility for every choice made, for every action, and for every emotion. From that moment on, he would shape his life, he would shape who he was, and he would no longer be a slave to outside forces. He would become the master. Guys, we're talking about you here, all right? You're the master, all right? We're saying we're reading from the book, but this is you, all right? Y'all are cool. I love this. If the Ten of Fire appears in your reading, he indicates a time to step up and take charge of your life. It is a time to dedicate yourself to the path of the master, not so that you can have control over others, but so you can shape your life with skill and confidence. How do you become the master? It may require pushing one's mind and body to continue despite all impediments and perceived restrictions. It requires dedication and discipline, and a willingness to set personal challenges and goals and stick to them. It requires knowing when to stop and allow yourself time to absorb and recharge. The master recognizes that there is a time for growth and a time to be dormant and rest. Guys, I feel this so personally, okay? First off, this is a group reading, and I feel a lot of us in the collective go through the same thing. So I'm going to share with you my own personal experience with this, and maybe you can resonate with it in your own way. But like, I am totally resonating with this because I, for the past few months, have been doing these like cleanses and changes to my diet and just like really trying to master myself. Like right now I'm doing a sugar cleanse, added sugar cleanse. I'm eating no added sugar in anything because I was able to admit like I have a full-blown sugar addiction, and my impulse to like eat these sugary things is like out of hand and really detrimental to my health. And so I'm kind of like mastering that impulse to like constantly go towards sugar right now. And it's just a small thing, but it's making huge differences in my life. And like, this is kind of something that you yourself might be going through in whatever way it is. Like maybe you are figuring out like anger management, impulse control, getting a hold of your emotions and kind of no longer being the victim in your life, but you're taking on this perspective of being really in control of your life and circumstances. Like maybe some of you guys, for example, may not make as much money as you want, and you've been waiting for like your business or your career or your beats, your music to take off, whatever. And you're like, you know what? That's that. I am making money by the end of this year. If it kills me, here's my deadline. If I'm not making money by this point, I will find a job that will make me this amount of money. Like being very stern with yourself and in control of your life circumstances, like no longer leaving it up to fate or life or the universe in a way. Even though we're all spiritual people here on this channel, you're not leaving it up to the universe. Like you are doing it with or without the universe. Above all, to become a master, you must be willing to learn. On a metaphysical level, see a lesson in all experiences. On a practical level, learn something that requires daily practice, and do not allow your first inevitable failures and mistakes inspire you to give up. That's a big message, and that's one that I learned back in December. I kept coming across the phrase, don't let a slip turn into a slide. Actually, I got that from Jeanette McCurdy's book. I'm glad my mother died. But that was something her therapist told her, and it really stuck with me. Don't let a slip turn into a slide. So if you're doing a really big goal, like say you want to go to the gym like 5 days a week, and there's a week where you don't go at all, don't let that mess up become a big mess up where you just give up and you're like, I'm not going at all anymore. Like, no, just get back on the horse and keep going. Like, it's okay if you fail, just get back on and keep going. Like, don't completely give up and lose all motivation. Big message for you guys. I love this energy for you. You are just so inspirational and motivational this month. Want to be a writer? Then the Ten of Fire suggests dedicating time to writing every day and learning how to write well. To be a musician, practice every day and take time to learn correct technique and other fundamental elements. If you want to be thinner or stronger, move every day and embrace healthy eating habits. If you want to save money, learn how to be frugal and careful and live in a way that costs you less. Choose to be good at what you do, whatever it is that you do. Being a master is not about being the best or being number one. The Ten of Fire symbolizes giving your best and continuing to improve and grow, because giving your best each and every time you challenge and push yourself just that little bit further until what you do becomes second nature to you. In general, when the Ten of Fire is drawn, consider it a message to act and not make excuses. To be a master, you have to be willing to work with your mind and hands with an almost religious observance. There is no other way. Finally, the Ten of Fire symbolizes reaching that point where dedication and hard work have created ease and surety. The moment when you can look at the task before you and say with confidence that you understand what you have to do and you are capable of doing it well. It's a powerful moment. Take the time to acknowledge and enjoy it. Celebrate your achievements and accomplishments, no matter how big or small they are. Shine, rejoice. You have earned this moment in the spotlight. Delight in it and allow it to inspire further fearless exploration, growth, and evolution. Really similar messages came out for group number 1, so if you feel drawn to watch that, I totally recommend it. But essentially what I see in these cards is that you've been in this energy that we just talked about and you are reaping the benefits of it. You are reaching some type of accomplishment here, and Spirit's saying, take time to breathe out, give yourself time to enjoy it, bask in your glory, and celebrate your wins. Because we definitely see a win here. And with the child, it's like you have mastered something, like you've mastered self-discipline, you are mastering aspects of your life. So take time to breathe out a little bit, celebrate, and then begin something new, or like go back into this energy of like starting fresh again, starting something new again, achieving something new again. Okay, so let's dive into the tarot now and see more specifically what will be happening for you in April 2023. So we're going to pull 5 cards, and these are just going to be telling the story of the month essentially and giving us some more information. We have Page of Earth. Wow. Okay. Very, very similar to group number 1. This literally came out for group number 1 in the same exact position. So definitely go check that group out as well. Guys, same deal. Page of Earth is new energy coming in physically. So this can be some type of physical manifestation entering your life. If you've been asking the universe for more money or more friends or a new lover or something, this is a really good month to manifest that. So pay attention to the new opportunities in your life at this time. New job, new money, new lover, new whatever it is that you are actively trying to manifest, or whatever doors are currently open in your life that you're asking the universe for, blessings. We are seeing it happening. Page of Earth is beautiful, beautiful new beginnings coming forward in the physical realm. Okay, like physical blessings that you can see, that you can touch, that you can feel, and use your senses to perceive. Stunning. Okay, let's see what else comes out. I'm really excited for you guys. We're just gonna pull 3, 4, and 5. Alrighty. We have the Fool, beautiful, optimistic card, and it's just so stunning in this deck. We have someone blowing a little horn of success, and this is just the start of a new journey, guys. I'm kind of getting a vision here. Many of you are actually having new friends or relationship enter in some way, shape, or form, and I'm actually seeing someone here. This is a person that you weren't super close with, so like maybe they were a friends with benefits or something, and I'm seeing this connection deepening. Or if it's not that, this is someone totally new coming in, and I'm just getting like new relationship energy, the excitement of a new relationship or a deepening relationship, but it's very new. Okay, this isn't someone who's been in your life for a long time. Like, this is new energies, a new chapter entirely. The Fool card is the first card of the tarot. It's actually card 0, so it kind of represents the energy before the journey even begins. So, and it's just so positive upright, because it truly is showing a brand new big start. Okay, so new relationship energy, new job energy, new money energy. These are the things that it's showing. But in particular, I really am getting this vision of it, like a person coming through who's going to be significant to you, and you might not even have to go looking for them. I mean, if you kind of are, like, say you're dating and you're on dating apps, you're like actively searching for that, totally fine, keep it up. But like, if you're not really looking for it, I feel like it's going to find you anyways. So it's just a beautiful blessing and a new beginning. And it's kind of giving me that message of like, can you imagine the most important people in your life what would happen if you just never met them? Like, maybe you were invited to a party one day where you met your current best friend, and like, what if you said no to going to that party that day? You know what I mean? Like, just the littlest change in circumstances, you wouldn't have met someone who changed your life substantially. And I'm kind of seeing that energy in the month of April. Like, you might just kind of say yes to something, whatever, and then actually, you know, one thing leads to another, and it kind of changes your life. So be very open-minded. I think if you're receiving any invitations out that sound really fun, but you're like, oh, I don't know, maybe I should work, maybe I should, you know, stay in, go out, do it, you know, celebrate. The message here is you've been working hard, so allow yourself to celebrate. You know, take time to breathe out, allow yourself room to celebrate and rest, and, you know, just have fun, and, you know, give yourself a little bit of wiggle room for magic to happen this month. If you're the type of person who's constantly booking your schedule out completely, you know, give yourself some time where nothing's planned. Allow some room for magic to happen, because we're seeing a beautiful new beginning occurring here. So might be nice to celebrate. We have Messenger of Water in reverse. And what's also interesting, group number 1 also had a messenger in this. They had the Page of Earth here, a Major Arcana, and then a Messenger card. Although they had the Messenger of Earth, you have the Messenger of Water, which again confirms to me new relationship. This Page of Earth energy, the new energy coming in, it's emotional and creatively tied here. So water is representing your emotions and love and friendships and just that watery, like, lovely heart-based energy, okay? And I'm seeing like a tiny little seahorse here, and I'm seeing it as like a new beginning for something that is growing. So this is an awful representation, but I kind of saw this like Page of Earth, like this little tiny thing here as kind of like a seed, okay? Although I imagined it more so in like a sperm and then it grew into this little embryo or this little baby, and it's like something is growing here. Or I guess a more appropriate example would be like you planted a seed and then it's growing, you know. But yeah, Messenger of Water, this is in reverse. I don't think you're gonna see it coming, to be honest. Like, I don't think you're going into April saying like, oh yeah, this is the month that I'm gonna like fall in love if you're single, or this is the month I'm gonna go out and like meet new friends. Like, you're not planning it. I actually feel like you've been pretty focused on just yourself and your goals and, you know, your own little life here. Like, you weren't planning on meeting people who are gonna change your life this month, but that's what's happening. So have fun with it, I guess. I think that's why this is in reverse. It's like totally unexpected, like you weren't planning it. Messenger of Water in reverse, or the Knight of Water in reversed here. And I think you're just gonna kind of be a little bit swept away. And I mean, on one hand, yeah, make sure you're staying grounded, make sure you're like looking at it from a very logistical standpoint. Like, say you start dating someone new and you're swept away, like totally enamored in this new relationship energy, like of course stay grounded and like don't make any dumb decisions. Make sure you're actually compatible. But otherwise, enjoy the process. We have the Page of Air in reverse. So many pages. Okay, so this comes to me when you're expecting communication or some type of change in direction, but it doesn't come when it's in reversed. And when 2 pages show up in a reading like this, it can show a relationship. So I feel like the problem, or okay, so I feel like in the month of April, I'm not seeing you talking about, like, say you meet someone new and you're dating. I'm not seeing a conversation of like, what are we happening this month? You know, it seems like you're enjoying the physical nature of the relationship. So like eating food together, drinking together, each other, your actual bodies and warmth and comfort and cuddles and all that. But I feel like in terms of direction, what you want long term, what you want, and honestly, I'm actually now seeing this doesn't have to be new. Some of you guys might be in a long-term relationship where you are enjoying the physical nature of life together and you offer that support, but when you talk about things in the future, like your future path together and where things are headed, you might not align with that. Yeah, I am seeing that. So if you're dating, I feel like you're actually in a more positive scenario here. So like if you're single, going on dates, you know, lighthearted, casual stuff, very fun. I think you're gonna have a great time. If you're in a long-term relationship and this message resonates, I feel like you and your partner are either not talking or not in alignment with what you want long-term, the direction that your lives are taking you. And it feels to me that like you're just trying to avoid that conversation because you still want to enjoy everything else that your relationship has to offer. But there is a new beginning coming in for you this month, and I almost wonder, I just wonder where that is for you, if that's your situation. Okay, so next card out, we have the Magician. Beautiful card, upright, stunning. And dare I say, like, you know, I think I was getting a little bit of like a hesitant energy, not necessarily trust issues, but just, you know, a weariness. And it's like a safe weariness, you know, when you first meet someone, like, yeah, you should be a little bit weary, you know, allow them to earn your trust. Don't just give it away freely. So I am seeing some of that energy here. But with the Magician coming out upright, I think in general, the people around you are quite trustworthy. You know, the Magician in reverse is my energy of the douchebag or the manipulator. Sorry, the manipulator. And you're getting it upright. But this is someone who, first off, this is you and the people you're attracting. And we see a natural progression from 0 to 1. So lots of growth happening for you this month, lots of life-changing events. And also I'm seeing a manifestation that you set coming through. And I'm kind of seeing, he kind of looks like Santa Claus to me. So I'm kind of viewing this as like that feeling you get when you're a kid if you celebrate Christmas and like you just have all of these gifts here and you're so happy and it's like just blessings for the sake of giving blessings, you know what I mean? Like that's what this month is bringing, blessings just because, you know, the universe doesn't have to have a reason to spoil you, right? So like they're giving you a situation that's gonna make you feel really giddy and like a child again. And I also see you achieving some pretty big goals in your life here with the Magician. I mean, this is the card of the law of attraction and using all of your skills to manifest what you want. So it's pretty good month here. I want to get some clarification though. I kind of feel off because I feel like those of you who are in a long-term connection where we talked about like it doesn't seem like your futures are aligning here, I want some clarification for you. So can we pull some clarification for that group of people? And if you're not one of those, just hang in there for a second. We're about to get some messages from Spirit. But for those groups of people, Spirit, can you give some advice or something? Or we have the Ace of Earth. Okay, wow, really good, really good. I feel like there is an opportunity coming up in this month to make things a little bit more concrete with this person and get a really, really solid answer and foundation. Okay, Ace of Earth comes up when, again, new beginning energy, and Earth is all about like a physical promise or commitment or plan. So you will be seeing that. That would be the goal here for this relationship. If you are in a long-term serious relationship, lots of emotions involved here, Messenger of Water reversed, and you're not really having conversations about like how your futures align, I see this month is a great time and a great opportunity for you to, you know, make it kind of concrete and really get on the same page about what are we, where is this going? If our futures are not aligned, how can we adapt to that? You know, maybe you might de-escalate, maybe you might stay where you are and compromise, I don't know. But it's a good time to discuss that for sure, because otherwise it's just gonna, like when you sweep issues under the rug, it just simmers and no good. But Ace of Earth is really positive, so don't lose hope, okay? Positive stuff is still happening here in your connection. So all right, let's get some messages from your spirit guides. This is the angel's answer. Okay, we have a yes answer coming through. So there's a big positive yes answer coming through for you in the month of April. And I don't know, it's interesting. So when I did your oracle, I had a very different vibe, and then I took a break, I came back, pulled the tarot, and now it just feels like a love reading, guys. I feel like your hearts are on fire. I'm feeling a lot of love for you, like excitement, and it's like so unexpected. Again, it feels like you're a kid on Christmas morning. You know, it's just that excitement, that giddiness of just like receiving. When was the last time you felt that? Like where you just felt the excitement of just receiving from the universe? What if the universe brings you this in the form of love, new friend who you're excited to hang out with, or money that you can play around with, like whatever your soul needs right now or wants. Like the universe is spoiling you. They're just like, I just want to spoil you. I just want to see you in that childlike, exuberant, happy energy again. So it's really good. A big yes answer is coming through. And also, I'm seeing a yes to one of your goals that you had, that you asked the universe for. Trust the process. And again, trust in relationships as well. I think you can trust this person, whoever you're dealing with. They are trustworthy. They aren't trying to hurt you. They're not trying to, they're like, Spirit wants to say they're not manipulating you. If that's what you think they're doing, they are not. Okay? Maybe, and I mean, of course, if you're in like an abusive, neglectful situation, like this reading is not for you. Okay? Leave. If you already know that, leave. But some of you guys, you know, I'm just getting good, positive energy from the person you're working with. I mean, like, even if your future paths do not align, I don't think they're trying to lead you on. I don't think they're trying to manipulate. But still, use your own mind and stand up for yourself. I think that you have perfect, like, well, not perfect, but, you know, a little bit of self-mastery here. So I think you're intelligent enough to make mature decisions in relationships. And I don't know. I get good energy from this reading. Let's see what messages come through from your ancestors and spirit guides now. Month of April, I'm telling you, it seemed like you were so focused on your own goals, your own progression, your own growth, like on all good things. And then this energy just hit me out of nowhere. And I feel like that's what's going to happen for you. You're like kind of going back, you know, focus on your goals, kind of achieving the self-mastery. Maybe you go back to read old books or revisit old lessons or start the cycle again, learn a new skill. And then it's like in the midst of all of this, out of nowhere, like something hits you out of nowhere. And it's like love, it's relationship, it's proposal, possibly. It's, you know, a new idea or a new direction in life that is coming up, you know, a new opportunity. Like maybe one day your best friend's just like, hey, would you move here with me? Like, would you move cross country with me? Or do you want to, you know, travel for 3 weeks internationally with me? It's just like, I'm seeing something hitting you out of nowhere, and it's positive, and it makes you feel giddy about life. So it's going to look different for all of you watching, but let's get some messages from your spirit guides and ancestors. I'm just letting you know now. Be prepared for nice, fun giddiness. We have cleanse coming out. Your body, mind, and soul are urging you to take some time out for some much needed cleansing. Just as you wash your car, clean the house, or tidy your office, your body needs care and attention. It's time for some spiritual, emotional, and physical cleansing. All three, guys, okay? Clean your house, clean your body, do some cleansing work, some smoke cleanses, some sound or energy healing, whatever your cup of tea is. Some emotional cleansing and purging, you know. I was just telling another group, or was it you? I can't remember, that I was just burning all my old journals in a fire the other day. And it really emotionally cleansed me. And I was also like decluttering my whole house and cleaning my own energy up. So you're being guided to do a similar thing around this time. Some spring cleaning, if you will. And honestly, I feel like the cleansing card comes out in one of two circumstances. One, it's either when you're like way overdoing it and you just need to cleanse your energy. And two, which I feel like this is the one for you, is when something big's about to enter your life. I definitely see something big entering your life, and then it's saying cleanse so that this big, new, beautiful thing can come through. And I'm seeing that here as well. Take time to breathe out. You just achieved something pretty big, or like learned something really big, completed some type of spiritual course in a sense. And take some time to breathe out, take some time to cleanse your energy for your next big chapter. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. April, you're kind of in between chapters in your personal life and your personal like studies, I guess you can say. And Spirit's saying cleanse because there are big blessings we are bringing in to you at this time, okay? Cleanse to prepare. You know, if your soulmate walked through the door tomorrow, would you want them seeing your dirty underwear on the floor? No. Clean up. Clean up. Do some cleansing. Honestly, cleaning itself, the act of cleaning, is like a meditation to me. I absolutely love it. I clean every single day. Love it. Highly recommend. It just clears the mind and gets the body moving. So when I'm doing personal readings, oh, we finally have a card. I literally, when I take breaks, I'll eat and clean in between. That's my break. Okay, so this is a postcard from Spirit, from the universe. Dearest you, we have something exciting to share with you. Oh, I just want to pause and say, yeah, they really do. They really do. There's exciting stuff coming this month. You are a manifesting master. You are, look, magician. The magician literally is the manifesting master. And the 10 of fire here, again, master, masterful. That word master keeps coming out. You are a master. Okay, share that wisdom. You are a manifesting master and you don't even know it. There will always be enough of everything that you need in your life. Money, opportunities, love, kindness. So whatever you're asking guidance about, have faith and be open to the many ways in which you will experience prosperity. Spirit is the source of your supply. The universe is always reflecting back to you what you believe. So whenever you fall into insecurity, you will be shown an illusion as if your fear were real. But the truth is that the universe is abundant. You are and always have been enough. And abundance is your natural state. If you can imagine something consistently as truth, you can and will create it. You are so on the right path now. Keep believing, then seeing what happens. Then the seeing happens. Loving you more and more every day. That is so powerful and so true, guys. Let me tell you how I manifested my soulmate. I literally, because this is in one of the journals that I burned. I just burned it the other day, but it explained the process of how I manifested one of my soulmates that I am still with to this day. The summer that I was like dating around, I guess you could say, before I got into a serious relationship with them, you know, I was in my journals talking about, you know, my fears of being alone. And I distinctly remember doing a tarot reading for myself, and I was using the Wild Offering deck, which I'm not using today. And this card came out and it really clicked in my head. Like, when I get rid of the fear of being alone, that is when my soulmates will enter. When I am able to embrace my aloneness, that is when my soulmates will enter. Because that summer and the years prior, I was kind of surrounded by toxic people and I was afraid to let them go because I had this fear of being alone. I had this fear of not being loved, and that fear manifested itself into my reality completely. I was just surrounded by toxic people, not in good relationships. So once I let go of that fear and I said, you know what, you're right, universe, I am not afraid to be alone, and I let go of those, like, the need to be spending time with those people every day, and I really embraced my solitude and my own journey in life. Boom, literally a few weeks later, I'm not even exaggerating, a few weeks later, I was in a relationship with this soulmate person. So same thing applies to any area of your life. You know, if you're desperately afraid of going into poverty or being broke or not having money, your reality will reflect that fear, you know. And I think a good meditation for that is understanding that nature always provides, even if you don't have a dime to your name. You know, you can live in a tent out in the woods and pick berries and make art and music. Like, there are perfectly happy houseless people out there. Like, the world will always provide for you. The kindness and love of others will always provide for you. I was actually just watching a documentary the other day about that hatchet guy, that guy on the news who like hit some dude over the head with a hatchet. He's in jail now, but he was completely, like, did not have a home at all. Loved it. Like, he loved his lifestyle. He had nothing. Every time someone would try giving him money, he would just give it away. And it's so funny that someone like that had thousands of people surrounding him trying to make him rich and famous and a millionaire, and like on all these TV shows and podcasts. Like, they literally wanted to him to have his own reality show, and he denied all of it. And the reason he was able to manifest all of that despite literally having no physical materials, like, he literally even gave away his own backpack and jacket at one point, was because he completely was fearless in terms of having and not having anything. You know what I mean? So because he had no fear towards money or lack of it, he had all of these opportunities to become rich and to have everything. And that's just how it works. You know, that is how the law of attraction works. You don't need to work. You don't need to do anything technically to manifest your desires. Although, I mean, obviously taking inspired action helps, but still, let go of your fears and trust that the universe is abundant. We see big manifestations coming through for you. I mean, Page of Earth did come out, the Fool, the Magician, whatever it is you've been trying really hard to manifest. I see you mastering the art of letting go of fear in this area, and then it manifests. Month of April. And we're seeing love here. So stunning stuff here, guys. All right. Well, thank you all for joining me. Beautiful reading. Like, share, comment, and subscribe if you've not already, and I will see you for the next one. Bye-bye.